Hi, I'm Tracy Enright. I'm the Executive Director of Cornerstones Community Partnerships. We were founded in 1986, and originally we began by working on adobe churches in northern New Mexico. Today, we are known for the work that we do throughout the Southwest to restore historic structures. We are located in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and look forward to welcoming you to the Terra 2022 conference next June. In the meantime, we are delighted to share with you this playlist of videos, which we are submitting for the pre-conference virtual event. The playlist of videos shows completed restoration projects that Cornerstones has managed, as well as educational segments for preserving adobe structures. I'm standing in San Miguel Chapel, considered to be the oldest church in the United States still on the same location. Jake Barrow, Cornerstone's program director, is going to tell you a little bit more about the projects we've done on this church and on other places throughout the Southwest. Thank you.
Hi, I want to talk about what Cornerstones is doing, and I want to use 4 concepts and 4 examples to illustrate that. And what Cornerstones does is we're involved in preserving traditional building technology, earth and architecture, stone, log, and timber. And we do that work by partnering out with communities. And that's primarily where we are. In addition, we collaborate with and cooperate with the National Park Service and Bureau of Land Management to do and conduct hands-on trainings about preservation technology. And finally, our whole effort involves volunteers and bringing as many volunteers as possible to do our work, participate with us. Here at San Miguel, it's a great example of our work because it encompasses so much of what we do. In the San Miguel Chapel, believed to be the oldest continuously located church in the United States, is the centerpiece of the Barrio de Analco district right here. That's a national landmark district. We're standing in it right in Santa Fe. And the barrio dates to 1610 when Santa Fe was founded, and naturally this church would have been built very soon afterwards to support that community. Our work began here when St. Michael's High School, the owner of the building, and at that time, from the 1850s until 1967, was the campus of St. Michael's High School. They moved away, but they kept the chapel as a connection to their LaSallian educational tradition and their traditions that they had being here in Santa Fe since the 1850s. Our work started when the school recognized the deferred maintenance and deterioration was happening in the chapel in the early 2000s. And so they came to Cornerstones to have us do a preservation plan, which we started in 2006. And we did that, and then in 2010, we embarked on the preservation work at the chapel, which entailed removing cement stucco from all around the chapel, building adobe bricks always right here in the Campo Santo, first off, making adobe structural repairs to the walls, and then replastering with a mud plaster. The way we did this was we started in 2010 on this facade, doing this facade. The reason we decided to do that was because we wanted a major public presence here. We wanted the people in town and the visitors to see what we were doing and to experience it firsthand. That got their interest up to volunteer, and it encouraged people to donate to our project. We had a Save America's Treasures grant to do that work. 2011, we moved to the north and east side and accomplished that in 2011. And in 2012, we worked on the south side. The bell tower was held for last. It needed special work. In 2013, we fundraised for the bell tower. And then in 2014, we accomplished the structural stabilization of that bell tower. A huge volunteer effort, lots and lots of public donations, and a project that everyone really enjoyed. We moved inside to do some work. We continue preservation maintenance on the church. And now in 2021, we're about to embark on solarizing the chapel. Another example I want to talk about, very routine Cornerstones work, is working out in the community, with the community, and that's the San Rafael project in La Cueva, New Mexico, up in Moore County. And this project is a typical Cornerstones project where the community is involved and we're providing the assistance to the community. They're the drivers of the project. They're driving the project. La Cueva, is entirely adobe, and like all of these churches, it's built by the ancestors, the people that live in this community in the 18th and 19th century with materials from on site. The materials are on site. And that church is built up there, and subsequent generations maintain that church and those churches the same way into the 20th century. That was what was happening. Again, in the transition in the 20th century is a time in which 2 world wars, demographics change, and the churches begin to fall into disrepair. The interest and the love for those buildings is still there. The people have gotten older. The young people have moved away. Other people in New Mexico love these places. So an effort got started to preserve and save these churches. La Cueva is an example, starting in the 1990s and continuing to today. Here we are at Adobe's made in front of San Miguel, and they're preserved here for work here at San Miguel, but also at other churches and other projects that we might be doing in New Mexico. Another example is our work at the Plaza del Cerro in Chimayo, New Mexico, where we are partnering with the Chimayo Cultural Preservation Association to preserve this plaza, which dates to the late 18th century. And it was a defensive plaza, likely probably the only one left as intact as it is anywhere in the Southwest. These plazas were built by the Spanish as protective enclosures against invasions and natives who were attacking these settlers, and built entirely of adobe. So the association approached us to help them restore one of the little buildings, Casita Martina. We worked on that for a number of years. And then in that process, we began to appreciate the values of this plaza. We applied for a Save America's Treasures grant to restore another building with the idea of restoring buildings one at a time as opposed to some global concept of major restoration. These are private properties, mostly. And so the idea of bringing one property back to life is going to stimulate others to bring their properties back to life. And this plaza can, in fact, come back to life. My last example that I want to talk about is our collaboration with the federal government, particularly the National Park Service and Bureau of Land Management. And one such project is at Death Valley National Park, where we are working on Civilian Conservation Corps perimeter walls at Cow Creek. And the Civilian Conservation Corps is a Depression-era jobs program that was started in the 30s. And now we are bringing AmeriCorps into our projects to work with us. And AmeriCorps is a descendant of the Civilian Conservation Corps, a jobs and training program for youth, in this case, to get closely involved with their cultural heritage. So in these projects, we make adobe bricks, we work on the walls, and these youth from all over the United States come and learn about this. We also involve the Ancestral Lands Conservation Course from the Southwest, which are Puebloan youth. Most of them already have some experience with Adobe. This brings them up to date so that they can continue to do it. What's exciting about these projects is not only the work that gets done and this wall gets built, but the learning experience of these youth that come to camp out, live there for 2 weeks, and build and work on their patrimony belonging to everyone in America, which are these walls and these other places that surround us that we work on at Cornerstones. Thank you.